Hey all, Tom here. Budget. What does that mean to you? Under half a thousand, maybe even a quarter of a thousand? That's not enough. You can't expect that you're not going to get a workstation laptop that'll fit your needs well for that price point. At least not for today's standards. But I'm here to help you. If you really want a budget workstation laptop, maybe we can dial back on some specifications just so you can save that extra bit of money. First up, we have the Dell Precision 7520 and 7720. Wait, did I read that right? Sorry, wrong script. Although, maybe, if you really wanted to save as much money as you can, a 6th, maybe 7th generation Intel processor or maybe a Xeon for that extra power, coupled with a reasonably powerful GPU, would fit you. 4 slots of RAM with a maximum total amount of 64GB, which is nothing to laugh at. You know, these laptops somehow have better RAM upgradability compared to modern laptops. Anyway, now those laptops cost around $300 to $500, pretty cheap and pretty capable, but still somewhat dated, so keep that in mind. I'll leave a link to those laptops in the description below for your convenience. Now, personally, when I think of mobile workstations, I think Dell. Dell immediately comes to mind. In addition to that, I have stuck with Dell workstations for some time now. I have had 3 Dells already and all of them are still functioning. One's even actually about 10 years old now. Come to think about it, the leap in performance from then is very big. Anyway, this video is not sponsored by Dell. Don't mistake this rant for a sponsorship. Anyhow, on to a more serious conversation. The Dell Precision 7740 might be a good pick for you. It's a capable machine and you save quite a lot for an 8th or 9th generation Intel processor. 17.3 inches of goodness with 4K capability depending on which variant you get. You could go for a cheaper 7540, which is basically a 7740 but smaller. Now there's not a lot of differences in performance for both, but seeing as how the 7540 is a smaller laptop, expect it to run just a tad bit hotter. The processor, while already quite powerful on its own, can be paired with a Quadro RTX card. Did I forget to mention that you can swap out the GPUs on Precisions? It used to be you could replace both the CPU and GPU. I remember that on my Dell M4800, but for the newer models only the GPU could be replaced. Anyway, I don't want to go on a trip down memory lane. Some models also have a touch-capable screen, so tap away if you feel like it. I don't know why you would on a laptop that's not made to look like a tablet, but to each their own. Next up, we have the Lenovo ThinkPad P14s Gen 2. Now, I'm not a fan of Lenovo laptops, honestly, but I do mean it when I say that Lenovo ThinkPads are loved by many. It looks simple, it's built simple. Despite the simplicity of ThinkPads, they are actually pretty durable and reliable. For this specific ThinkPad, you are able to use an 11th generation Intel Core processor coupled with either an integrated graphics unit or an NVIDIA T500 GPU. Admittingly, this coupling is a bit more on the lower end side of the spectrum. The Intel processors on this ThinkPad are G7 variations, which consume less power and are therefore less powerful, obviously because there's less power that's being used. Compare that to the previous laptops we've discussed in this video, like the newer Precisions with the 8th or 9th generation processors with the H suffix, which basically just means highest performance as per Intel. The screen is pretty nice. 4K capability on a 14-inch screen is weird, but it comes down to personal preference. When it comes to RAM, you have 8 or 16GB soldered into the board with 1 slot extra. I don't like soldered RAM, but I might give this one a pass. Now about the GPU, it's an NVIDIA Quadro T500, and honestly, Quadro T500s are really meh. I mean, they're alright, I guess. I mean, I would not use it for work, considering there are better laptops, but if you're really not looking for raw power and just need a long-lasting laptop with some, I don't know, work on the side, then you should probably consider this ThinkPad. Links in the description, by the way. Alright, let's keep going. Here we have the HP ZBook 15G6. That's quite the mouthful. Now, the specifications of this laptop are comparable to the previous Precisions we tackled: 9th generation Intel processor, a possibility to use a Quadro RTX GPU, Only on select models though, since the GPU was built into the motherboard itself. 4 RAM slots capable of 128GB of maximum total RAM, but that sounds too much of a general overview. Basically, you have access to a 9th generation Intel processor, cool, but you also have the Quadro T2000, which, while not as strong, is pretty capable, which is also much more capable than the T500. Just don't expect it to be as good as a Quadro RTX 3000. Now as for the memory, you have 4 slots, 2 of which are easily accessible to the customer, while the other 2 are pretty hidden and require an extensive dive into the laptop. It is a bit of a hassle, I suppose, but it shouldn't be too hard if you're used to digging around in a computer or laptop. I guess it'd be worth it as well, considering you'd have a potential 128GB of RAM. Now, the screen, just like others on this list, are 4K compatible with touchscreen capability. Hooray! Or something. I really don't get why you need touchscreen capability on something that barely turns into a tablet, but whatever. I sound like a hater, and I'm sorry. Not. Anyway, if you'd like to check those products out, you can check the description below for links to those laptops, and as always, leave a like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Just don't forget us. Please?